to Sheri Galvanized.
Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters, and welcome guests. Do you know what go gets you in flow? Our Toastmaster today asked us to talk about what we know for sure. And I know a little bit about flow. In fact, I know more about flow than I ever thought I did. I'm kind of like Chi-Chi. I didn't realize I knew certain things when I was young until later when I started reading books about it and I realized, oh my God, I've been doing this the whole time. What I loved about this particular book right here, which is called Flow, the classic work on how to achieve happiness. I learned that getting into a state of flow is not about doing any particular activity. I learned that there is no right way to get in flow, and there is no wrong way to get in flow. What I learned in this book, that getting in flow means getting involved in a project that you are so interested in, that you are so passionate about, that you are so focused on, that you lose track of time. And what this book says is that the more times you can do things that get you into this state of flow, the happier you're going to be. And the happier you're going to be in all aspects of your life. You're not just going to be happy when you're in flow, or when you're doing that project, or when you're working on that assignment. You're going to be happier even during the times you don't do it. Another one of the things that this book said that I couldn't wait to talk about is he says, well, first of all, some of you might want to know who the author is. And this is where a hyperbole comes in. The author's name is completely impossible for me to say. The first name, Mahali, I believe. Second name, let's just say it starts with a C, it ends with an I, it has a Z, a K, an X, and a V in it. So if you want to know who it is, ask me after we're done. But one of the things that I loved that this book said, it gave me complete permission to talk about something I've been wanting to talk about. He said that you can get in flow from activities anywhere from committing crimes to performing surgery. A surgeon gets into a state of flow. They lose track of time. A criminal gets into a state of flow. I used to be a criminal. I know I don't look like it, but hey, let's put the pieces together, okay? You guys already know I ran away from home when I was 16, right? How the heck do you think I survived? How does a 16-year-old survive on the streets if you don't have a little game going on, right? You gotta have some game going on. Where are you gonna get the money for your food? Where are you gonna spend the night? What are you gonna do to survive? When I walked out that door, I had no idea how I was going to make it. But I had to figure out ways to make it. And what I got good at, what I perfected, what I came to know, what I know for sure, is if you're going to walk into a store with a trench coat and an oversized bag, and you're going to walk out looking a lot bigger than you were when you walked in, you better walk in there acting like you own the joint. You better walk in there with no self-consciousness whatsoever. You walk in there and you look the manager right in the face. You're not doing anything wrong. You're just here to meet some needs, that's all. If you want to get away with walking into a store and then walking out with all this stuff, you have to get in to that mode. You have to be fully present. You have to be 100% focused. You have to be convinced that it's okay to do what you're doing, to have no nervousness, no self-consciousness, no guilt, no remorse, no shame. The people who get caught are the ones who are like, oh my God. Those are the ones who get caught. So I had gotten fairly good at this because it became a way of life. It was a necessity. But there was one day in particular that I will never understand. And I've always wanted to tell this story to a group of people because there's only about 2 people who know it. Now let's just say I had a few habits to support when I was a teenager. And I had my cigarette habit, I had my heroin habit, and these things cost money, you know? But for the most part, I didn't really steal money. I mostly stole food, nylons, makeup, batteries, things like that. But this one day, when you've got a heroin habit to support, it means you either go to those really shady apartment buildings over in Santa Ana and try to talk half Spanish, or you go to a hotel room where the dealer is at. So this one day, I'm sitting in a motel room, I guess, kind where the door's right outside. I'm sitting there, and all I want to do is just get my fix. All of a sudden, boom! The doors bust open, and drug enforcement agencies barge into the room. Now, there's only one way in and one way out. And I'm sitting kind of near the door, and I'm seeing this. Whoa! Evidently, one of the people who was in the hotel room was bugged, and this was a sting operation. They were busting. It was a drug bust. So I'm sitting there, and I had gotten to the point where I truly believed that whatever I set my mind to was the truth. Well, I set my mind to I'm not getting caught. I literally stood up, walked out the door, and I walked out the door with the complete intention that I had nothing to do with any of those people. And I wasn't going where they're going. I walked out the door, I turned the corner, I never turned around because I wasn't involved with those people. I kept walking, and I kept walking, and I kept walking. Look at my hand. And even I'm thinking at some point, now really, I mean, is this all you have to do? Come on. Now, I'm waiting for someone to say, "Ma'am, stop right there!" I keep walking, and then I turn another corner, a corner that I'm completely out of sight from anybody who could possibly see me, but I still don't turn around because I want to stay in that zone. I'm not involved with those people over there. Where they're going is not for me. It was only after I was very far away from them that I finally turned around. And I was shocked. I was stunned. I had no idea what had just happened. I had no way to explain what had just happened. But what I realized, I didn't realize until years and years and years later, that those activities and that mindset wasn't mutually exclusive to crime and to getting away from with things and from doing wrong things. I realized I could use that same mindset, that same focus, that same determination to pull off all kinds of things. And they didn't even have to be illegal. In fact, there's a lot of really cool things you can do that are legal and that can get you into a state of flow. But the bottom line is, getting into the state of flow is doing those activities that you're passionate about, that you're focused on, that you do, and you lose track of time when you do it. Everybody has it. Everybody has the ability to do that. And you can learn new things to help you get into a state of flow. Today, I am in a state of flow standing here talking to you. Time is standing still. But not really, because Joe keeps on holding up those flags, so I realize time is moving forward, and it is time for me to just ask you once again, do you know what gets you in flow? And if you do, do more of it. Get better at it, and you will be happier. Mr. Toastmaster. Amen.